Hey guys, how you all doing? BionicleSaurus here, and in this video we are going to be taking a look at the CollectA Deinocheirus. I don't know why I am just reviewing this figure now. I've had it since the summer. I'm so sorry that this is coming out now. I have no idea why. I've just been procrastinating about it. I've been so distracted with all these other types of videos, like that dinosaur collection video that I just came out with, and then also all the videos I had to upload about all the new released pictures of upcoming figures from all the various companies, that I almost just forgot, oh yeah, I should probably be making some reviews, and this figure specifically is one that I really needed to actually make a video for. So, my first thought on this figure is that it's really not as good as most of the other 2016 releases from CollectA. Now, I didn't get all the figures for last year, but I got all the major ones. I got the Tetrabyte, this one, the Lithrinax, and the Baishan. And then I also got a couple of the Wave 1 figures, the Metriocanthosaurus and the Hunting T-Rex. And this is by far my least favorite, and I don't know why. It's just, there's nothing objectively wrong about it. So if you're looking to get this figure, don't let this turn you off, because this is just some personal, I don't know, it's just, to me, it's not as interesting as a lot of those other figures. Specifically, the Baishan is just such a just perfectly done big Maniraptoran figure that I guess in comparison this one is just a little bit lackluster. On its own, it's fine. I will say that one thing specifically that I don't like is the pose. I just feel like the pose on this one is just really boring. Something about the way it's just carrying itself and the way its legs and feet are all positioned on the base, it just is not nearly as dynamic as some of the other figures that came out last year. Detail-wise, this figure is really, really nice. I just love this feather texture. Something about it, I mean, this just looks really, really nice. It's very shaggy and woolly and almost fur-like. It definitely properly represents, you know, very primitive, downy type feathers. We also have these longer feathers on the arms, and this very nice looking feather crest on the back of the head. The head itself, specifically, does look very, very nice. One thing, though, it's kind of breakable, I think. This snout is very, very thin and very bendable. Mine kind of can bend up, and you can actually see some stress-like lines already forming, and I only have done it a couple times. Obviously, I don't want to mess with it too much because I don't want to actually break it off or anything. It is rubbery, but do keep in mind that that plastic is not super solid. The base, as usual, isn't really all that special. It's not painted or anything, it's just a monocolor, just tannish, brownish kind of thing. Do have some nice footprints. Appears that there's some from other Deinocheirus. There's a 5-toed footprint in there, you can see. Also this very, very big theropod footprint, maybe from a Tarbosaurus, who knows? Maybe this poor guy is being stalked. As far as accuracy goes, I mean, this is a beautiful, beautiful reconstruction of a very bizarre genus. And that is one of the big kind of selling points of this figure. It's a Deinocheirus, and it's an accurate, new-looking Deinocheirus. It's not the old, generic-looking Therizinosaur Deinocheirus. It's actually an accurate one. And man, I mean, you got the hump, you got the signature frickin' huge claws, or I guess they're not signature, but they're very iconic. And in general, there is one thing lacking. It's size. This is why I am so excited for this upcoming deluxe Deinocheirus that is going to be coming out later this year from CollectA, because my biggest complaint about this figure, really, beyond the fact that it's maybe just in general a little less eye-catching than some of the other figures from 2016, my biggest issue is that it's very small. It's just a standard series figure from CollectA, and I just wish it was a deluxe one. I really do. I don't know why. I mean, I love that the Baishan is big. I love that we got that, but part of me really kind of wishes they would have made this one deluxe instead, because the Baishan is so beautiful. It didn't need to be big to make me want to get it. This one kind of needed to be big because it's an ornithomimid famous for being big. I mean, so is Baishan, but not to the same degree. You're talking about maybe 35 feet versus 40, 45, maybe even 50 feet for Deinocheirus. I'm not sure about the exact sizes, but I know that this thing was freaking huge. It was one of the biggest theropods of all of the Mesozoic. And so to me, I think that the size really could have been, I think it's just a missed opportunity. And I'm glad that they're making a deluxe one, I just don't know why they gave us this one first. Alright, let's get to size comparisons real quick. And I'm going to be doing these size comparisons so that I have a figure that is very relatable, that a lot of people probably have, or at least have handled in person. I'm going to be doing my personal favorite figure, and also a different figure for each review that kind of relates to the one we're actually reviewing. So first off, let's do that relatable figure. And that is, of course, the Allosaurus. I think a lot of people have this, and as you can see, the Deinocheirus isn't super big. As I was mentioning, it's very short, although it does have a surprising amount of height to it, mainly because of that hump on its back. But in general, yeah, it's not even really a medium-sized figure. It is straight up small. The Safari Limited Deinocheirus is a bit more of a fair comparison. It's still longer, but it's a lot shorter, and the length difference isn't nearly as drastic. Although these are definitely not to scale, I'm just saying that visually this works okay. Now finally, let's bring in the unique figure for this video, and I'm actually gonna move this guy into the foreground, the Bichon-Long. As you can see, the Bichon-Long is a lot larger. The Deinocheirus definitely did get the short end of the stick. As you can see from this angle even better, I mean, the Bichon-Long just absolutely dwarfs it. And I'm really curious to see what that new deluxe Deinocheirus is gonna look like next to the Bichon-Long. I'm curious as to how big that figure's gonna be. I'm imagining it could be even bigger. It probably will be if they're gonna be accurate with it, which you know CollectA is gonna at least try to be. So I'm pretty excited. I think this new deluxe Deinocheirus could be one of their biggest, like, theropod figures of all time, right up there with the T-Rex and the Torvosaurus and all the other really big deluxe figures that they've given us over the past few years, and that makes me pretty excited. So in conclusion, this figure is very good. There's very little that's objective about it that's bad, like there's no real objective flaws. It's all just my personal opinion here. As you know, that's what the new reviews are all about, and I just really want to stress that in this video. I don't want to, like, turn you off of this figure because there's nothing really bad about it. It just doesn't speak to me in the same way that, say, the Lithrinax or the Bichon-Long does. I personally think that it's a weaker figure from last year from CollectA, but again, I can't even really explain why. I mean, the pose is one thing, the size is another, but in general, something about this figure just, it doesn't grab me. But again, it is very well made. It's very accurate, the detail is on point, and for all intents and purposes, it does look pretty good. So my rating for this figure is an A-. I can't deny that overall, this figure is very good, and if I was still doing the objective style of reviews, I would definitely give this an A+. So if you're just going by objective stuff and you want to know, like, are there flaws or is this just you being weird? It's just me being weird. So anyway, that is about it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and BionicleSaurus signing out.